Let's see here. I think we're on. Are we? Let's do a countdown. Hey, and we're live. I think so, right? Sound check. We always start with the sound check.
I hate that, like the first part.
Okay, can you guys hear me and my dad?
Same goat. Same goat.
Sane Goat. Hi, Sane Goat. Thanks for joining in. So my dad and I decided well, how do you say the Polish word for dad again? Wijek? Wijek? How do you say dad?
Ojciec.
Ojciec. Oh, wow. I'm totally off. Ojciec. So we're going to be premiering some of the footage that we had. We arrived into Warsaw yesterday. And so this is uncut. I just put it together. I'm going to have an editor version. So that's going to be like nice with more information and voiceovers and more directions as to what you're seeing around it. But that's going to take me a little bit of time. And I wanted to bring you guys some of, basically everything that I've been seeing with the beauty of Warsaw. So that couldn't wait. And of course, like the footage I put together of just everything is about like 2 hours of us just going about our day from traveling from Ozorkov all the way here to Warsaw, which actually isn't that far because my dad's home city is already in the center. And there are a lot of beautiful sites that we had seen while walking through and strolling through the old town that is not going to make it into the editor's like final cuts. So this is just going to be just like raw and out there, and so that way you guys can kind of just see almost like a walking tour. I haven't been able to do a live stream while I was here, so I've just been having my GoPro going. I've been using my Sony, and then I just handed my dad the GoPro for the most part. So I just compiled that together. So say hi to everyone. So thanks for joining in. Before we premiere that footage, which is going to be in about 45 minutes, there's a big debate that was going on between me and my dad because I like my Wino, I like my hot mulled wine, and it's so cold outside that it just warms you up to have it. And so, of course, for the price of having 1 cup of Wino outside, you can buy a whole bottle of it at the store. So my dad's continuously saying to me, like, oh, I can just make this for you at home. I can just make this for you at home. So I'm like, all right, Dad, let's make this at home. In fact, let's layer on the pressure and make it live in front of you guys, and then see how that taste tests. So that's what we're going to do for you.
I explained to Tara, since she wants to buy a small cup of wine, okay, which cost, for the information, 18 zloty, which is a little bit over $5 for small cup, okay? So I told her that we can buy the whole bottle, warm up, and gonna be the same, So that's what we did, and we want to show you too what a taste it is if we can compare the wine outside to wine from the bottle here.
So my dad's idea of making mulled wine is just picking up any bottle and heating it up on the stove. So I'm like, no, I see that there's some sort of like cardamom or anise or cinnamon taste to this. So fortunately, when we were at the store and we're like just picking out a bottle, I found a packet that looks like you mix it in. So at the last minute, I'm like, hey, Dad, we have to add this in. And I'm like, I think I taste some cinnamon. So let's get some cinnamon. And I see that this has orange peel. So let's get an orange for this. So this is going to be our first time making mulled wine at home. I don't know how it's going to go and everything, but I figured, you guys can join us here at our kitchen. So let's give this a go. Okay. Let me switch around to the other view. There we go. I've got 2 cameras going, and let's give this a try. All right, Dad.
Okay, you gonna make it?
I'm gonna make it. I thought you said that you were gonna make it for me.
Well, okay, I can help you, but it's a simple way. Okay.
So we picked this up at the store.
Let me.
All right. This is what I saw. And I'm like, oh, it says Vino and Piva. Piva is beer, right?
Yeah, pivo is a beer, yeah.
And then at first I got cinnamon because I'm like, I have to get some cinnamon. But lo and behold, the instructions are all in Polish. So my dad's like, oh, I'm just going to sit and watch you do this. I'm like, I can't read this.
Yeah, we bought a bottle of wine. I cannot even reach where is.
Fancy here. It's Le Heritage de Caroline.
Okay, we have to put because
the
fire going on already.
And so we're at the apartment, our Airbnb.
Burning the. Okay.
So that idea is just to like toss it all together. I don't know about that. I think it's probably supposed to be some sort of like simmer. Maybe you should try the instructions, Dad.
Well, we're just gonna add it for the taste a little bit. If you want more, then we can bring more. The most important is to warm up the wine because you want a hot wine, right? That's what you talking about.
Yeah, it's gonna warm you up both your hand and your soul. And
it's different when it's so cold outside. I'm not used to because I live 25 years in Florida. And
look at this camera over here.
Also California, so I'm used to the warm weather. Now I'm in Poland, Warsaw, and it's so cold. Okay, so Tara decided to drink the warm wine, and in an apartment here, it's okay. See, I'm without the shirts.
So if this actually goes well, our apartment is located right in the center, so it's fortunate we've been able to like come in as we've been walking around. We can come here and relax, and then I have
we can walk about
a swell bottle,
not more than 3 minutes to the King Castle. So we went this morning to King Castle. Basically that was the day when we got free. It's a beautiful castle inside. Doesn't look so beautiful outside, but inside was beautiful, right?
Yeah, they had gold rooms and everything. So I'm gonna be putting together a uncut footage of that as well.
We're gonna show you how beautiful inside the castle is in later on videos.
But okay, I figure if this all goes well, I can put the hot wine into my swell bottle and it will stay warm all day. So tomorrow is March 8th, which is the International Women's Day. There's an event that we're going to be attending that's outside of the Cultural Palace. It looks huge. They have over 1,500 people RSVP'd on Facebook. And so that's going to be at 4 o'clock tomorrow, which is about, I think that's 10 a.m. 10 a.m. your guys' time. So I'm hoping to pick up a SIM card so I can do a live stream from that demonstration. It's a march. It's prior to, I don't know, I have to look up my facts, but International Women's Day used to be a huge holiday here in Poland. It was an official national holiday. It's not now. And of course, in pandemic times, the turnout may not be as big, probably won't be as big, but I think for a Facebook event to even have 1,500 people RSVP'd for this march, I think it's going to be a pretty big event. So I'm actually pretty excited to see it.
What we got here.
You read the instructions. My dad's actually a fantastic cook, and he cooks completely also from scratch. So you know what? He might know what he's doing. Let me check these comments.
Well, I
So
don't
people are
think
saying, Free Canal says he loves your shirt, Dad.
Oh, thank you.
Jason, oh, sorry, you were saying?
I'm gonna change later for the American shirts too, Polish American. This is just Love Poland, but I have also have the shirt here. I love you, USA.
Did it like evaporate fast?
Yeah, it warmed up, and now we're gonna.
You're supposed to be in a slow cook.
Oh, okay.
Because like you poured. You poured it into there. I don't think you're supposed to like. You're supposed to like cook it together or something.
It's okay.
You just boiled the wine.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure that's not what they do.
It's okay. We're gonna add a little bit cinnamon. See how that's gonna come out.
Wait, you're just adding the cinnamon?
Little bit orange. Okay, that's what they call.
All right, let's bring this over here closer to the. All right, actually, I'll bring the camera over to you so you can see
It's
it.
okay. You can take the glass and.
Because I want them to see what you're doing.
Okay.
All right. Let me move the camera closer to you, Dad. Got a little setup over here. All right. Do a nice little cooking demonstration, Dad. Maybe we'll have a future, me and you, father-daughter team as a cooking team.
Okay, you want to try? If we have to add some more stuff.
Wait.
Okay, check how it tastes now.
So when I was looking the online instructions, it said 90 minutes to be making this, and he made it in 9 minutes.
Not even this, but it's okay. Let's try it. Try it how it tastes, and we see if we have to add something more. Or okay. So try it if it tastes like outside. I think it doesn't taste so sweet. I think they added more sugar outside.
It smells nothing like
Right outside.
like outside. Okay, so let me reiterate what the instructions were that I had read online. That the cook time is 90 minutes. And Dad just made this in 9 minutes. And his version of making mulled wine is just bringing the wine to a boil, tossing in a couple of the cinnamon. What did you?
Cinnamon and something to add to wine or beer. Which basically it is everything here is lemon and orange. Well, it's a lot of stuff. Even imbier. That's imbier gonna be the ginger. I don't even know what kind of stuff in English.
Say it in po polsku.
Żurawiny. Okay, rodzynki, żurawiny, syropu klonowego. So it is a lot of mixed stuff in it. Okay.
I mean, I'll give it a try. Hey, you too.
Huh?
You too.
Well, I didn't fix it for me.
Oh, you have to fix it for yourself.
Okay.
We have to.
Okay, I'm putting again the orange. Przyprawa do wina. Okay.
I had a nice mulled wine earlier that actually they added rum. So you can also add your favorite alcohol in addition. I believe I was seeing in the comments to add in some whiskey. So maybe tomorrow when I'm going around, if this isn't working for me, I can spend the $5 to get this on the outside from the restaurant.
Okay, let's see.
All right. Na zdrowie.
It's sour.
Oh my God, this is terrible.
Yeah, well, that's a cinnamon, which tastes. Well, you want to add it?
I told you, this is not how it's supposed to be done. I think it's supposed to be slow cooked for like, and because the concept of mulling, isn't it supposed to like simmer with the
Well, what I would
ingredients
do
for a
at
little
home,
bit. I'm going to try a little bit.
I would
You
try-
entertain there, folks.
yeah, I would add just a honey to it, but it's still drinkable. So, the cinnamon is very strong, but
Made hot wine.
what-
It's not mulled wine.
yeah, what I understood that the cinnamon is very healthy for your heart. So,
All right. Can you read what the translation is of
I cannot translate this for.
its instructions?
Well, it has a lot of things. It's too much for the making, but it's okay. You can add a little bit of sugar and it will be okay.
A spoonful of sugar makes the
So-
wine go down. Let's see what a YouTube, or not YouTube. Let's just Google it and see what mulled wine is supposed to
Let me
be like.
read what they-
Mulled wine. Yeah, Dad, handle the comments over here.
Okay. It's kind of cold here.
What does this thing say? Fresh oranges, cinnamon, mulling spices, sweetener. Yeah, it's supposed to be almost like a sangria, basically.
Yeah, Benny, you're right. We should add sugar to it and probably Zubrówka that would make this stronger. I remember when I was little boy, my mom was making own wine and she added some spiritus, which is 100% alcohol.
All right.
And
So what it
must
says
taste good, yeah.
online is heat until the wine just barely reaches a simmer over medium-high heat. Avoid letting it bubble and don't want to bubble off the alcohol. Reduce the heat to low, cover, and let the wine simmer for at least 15 minutes or up to 3 hours. And then using a mesh strainer, remove and discard the orange slices, cloves, cinnamon sticks, star anise, and ginger. So in lieu of having all of those ingredients, I'm thinking this one is supposed to. I don't know how much I'm supposed to put in there, but I'm going to try this by doing it a little bit slower than what Dad just did, and we'll see how that works. Because
Jason give a good idea to add a little bit where you
let's just pour the whole thing
apple,
in here.
grapes, and oranges and cherries.
Like a sangria.
Juice. Yeah, that would help. Well, we're doing this first time, and I don't know.
It's like a sangria, hot sangria. So I'm going to slice up all of these oranges, which it looks like we're using these small oranges, which in the one that we got from the restaurants, they've all been like
You
big
can
oranges.
maybe squeeze the oranges.
All right. I'm going to let it all boil together for a little bit. of time.
Jason's still saying that you should add sugar because it's very bitter. Which one is mine? Does matter?
Doesn't matter. I took a sip and
Okay.
it's
Well,
super sour.
You know that cinnamon.
I'm gonna
makes,
add a little bit of sugar. We got some
little
sugar
bit
around here.
bitter, you know. Yes.
Are you enjoying Warsaw so far, Dad?
Huh?
Are you enjoying Warsaw so far?
Well, let me tell you about Warsaw. I used to live I came to Warsaw when I was 18 years old, and I worked for. At that time, they started building the Fiat company, and I was one of the first who built the line for the Fiat. You know, and later I was working in engine inspection for 2 years, and I know a little bit about Warsaw, but after 50 years, I forgot a lot of stuff. But in this area, close to the King Castle, this is the old city. You feel like basically like you are in a 17th century here.
Yeah, even earlier actually, because it feels like this is like a medieval city. Granted, it was
Right.
all rebuilt after the war to look like what it did prior to the war. But tell us a little bit of the history of Warsaw. Like, how old actually is Warsaw?
Well, if you know the history of Poland, the first capital in Poland was a little bit north of here. The name was Gniezno, okay? And the first king of Poland was Bolesław Chrobry. Was good king, and Poland, he made Poland the biggest country in Europe at that time. Okay, but the time Poland went a lot of, bad and good stuff, and eventually the capital was in Krakow, south of Poland. It's a beautiful city, but when they make the Swedish king, Zygmunt III, Vasa, he actually wanted to be king of Sweden and Poland. And since Krakow was too far, he decided to move the capital to Warsaw. And he built that beautiful castle, which, like I mentioned to you, for me, it's inside is very beautiful, very beautiful. A lot of rooms, nice decorated. And I just want to mention also to you, maybe I mentioned too many times, but Nazi been jealous about that, specifically about the castle, and they destroyed completely. So Poland had to rebuild from scratch again, and they did a good job. I have to tell you that Warsaw was rebuilt from scratch, and it's beautiful, okay, to the original way.
So we spent the earlier part of today touring the inside of the castle. So I have a lot of footage that I'm going to put together into another uncut Warsaw for you guys.
Yeah, Jason, you're right. You're saying that you raised a good daughter. Yeah, I'm very proud of Tara, especially that I hope that finally she's going to help me on my project, that I'm going to be more proud than, So
and for those who don't know what the project is, explain.
My project it is to take care of actually find the solution to take care of the homeless, okay, that they can be more useful for the American society, okay. I'm thinking not about Poland, because I live in the United States and I love United States. I want to do something, good for United States. I have some vision that I can solve the problem for the homeless and retirees. Well, with the retirees, I will explain you later, but the first priority will be the homeless. Okay, so that's my goal, to help the homeless, because I mentioned
Sorry
before.
to interrupt you, Dad. Could you pass me that top of that saucepan right there?
This one?
No, the top. Right there next to the window. No, go to your right. Go to your right. All the way to the right. There.
This?
Yeah, the cover. Thanks, Dad.
You're gonna overboil the wine.
No, I'm gonna bring it to a simmer. I'm gonna
right.
cover it. Oh, this is not even the correct one.
Yeah, Benny, yeah, I always, in somehow, I try to improve myself. And you saying I have a good heart. Well, we all want to do something for this world before we're going to depart it. I'm 72 years old, but I'm not going to sit. I'm retired, but I'm not just going to sit and do nothing. If I can do something for United States people, for America, because I love American people, we came from all over the country. We create great country, and we want to do something also to leave some good memory for our children. So the thing is, what I don't like is that we have too many homeless people on the street, and the problem going to be even worse when the technology will be coming more, and more people are going to be on the street because they're going to lose their job, and somebody have to take care of them more properly. Okay,
the robots are going to take over, right?
Yeah, the robots going to take over, and people
He's
not going to have a
automation.
job. And somebody have to, do something about it. For the rich country like United States, and if you wouldn't have so much land, probably my project wouldn't be worthless. But United States have a lot of unused land. And when they talk in the climate change, United States needs more trees. Okay, there is a land which is bare, like a prairies. Okay, and the homeless people can develop that land, planting the trees. And that's going to be good benefits for us. That's my project. To give them land and prepare the land so that they can have the ability, on that land to find some work that they can sustain themselves. Okay. So that's my idea. But I always telling to the people, okay, my idea might be not that good for in somebody's way, but if you have a better idea, give me show me the better idea. So we're going to work together on solving the problem in the United States. I'm sure most of the people don't like the human being living on the street, no shower, no toilet. Okay, some of them you might think they're crazy. You don't want to park a car and they knock your window or destroy your car. Okay, so we have to take them to the farm and make them live the way they want it.
Basically, my dad is suggesting with the farmland that is in the US, instead of building homeless shelters within cities, to build these dormitory style. He was thinking of like container houses for space saving, and you can always build up, but to build that on the farmland and then also allow people, give them the seeds, give them plots of land, and allow them to farm and produce their own food, to have their own garden.
Yeah, I also will be explaining my project as soon as we go back to Florida, and my daughter is going to start making video. Okay, so I will explain you more. But if you wondering what I have in my mind, yes, the land. Okay, we have to make sure that we can get the water, that we can get the electricity, and the building we can make very cheap from shipping containers, because they have it just in the case the hurricane or some tornado comes, they're not gonna just be blown out. Okay.
Dad, do you like yours, or do you want me to toss it in there?
It's up to you.
All right, I'm gonna toss it all in there. This is, as it was made, it was too sour, but it's actually coming along pretty decently right now. Bring it to simmer. I feel like I might as well just toss in the last orange.
Yeah, I think she's overcooking the wine, and it might just evaporate.
It's going to be alcoholic free. That's probably why we should add some whiskey afterwards, or some vodka. Okay, I'll just let it sit there and steam a little, or whatever it's called. As you can see, I'm really not much of a cook. But Dad is an amazing cook. So when we get back, we're going to do some cooking videos for you guys. We did before Polish pancakes and also a cheesecake. So we'll do a little bit more robust version of those videos, so you guys actually can like follow along and recreate the recipe at home that my dad has. And then also we have to make our own pierogies. And my brother makes an excellent schnitzel, which Dad taught him how to do, which I don't know how to do because I really haven't learned how to cook. But I am an excellent baker. All right, let's see how this is tasting a little bit.
John, you're talking about whiskey. Basically, if I have to drink, would be more like a Polish vodka. But I'm not too much drinker. It's just social way to have a little bit with
but John,
you guys.
I like whiskey and I like bourbon. I'm completely a bourbon girl. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, Benny, I do good Polish cheesecake. I call it Polish, but it's not really Polish cheesecake. But
What is it?
I call my cheesecake my way. I just put stuff in there, and bake it, and it's my.
It's kind of like me.
cheesecake,
I'm just
yeah.
tossing all the ingredients
Sometimes
in
I call
there.
it Polish cheesecake because I'm Polish, so I do that.
That seems like enough sugar. Keeping an eye on the time because we're going to be premiering the other video. Okay, we're still good on time.
Tell me, in Poland they cut a lot of trees. I don't know how much they cutting, but we are also in EU, in European Union, and they have some law about cutting, but also
There's a law
paying
for cutting
farmers
trees?
to planting new trees. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah. They paying for each tree,
It's okay. It feels like it needs more anise.
But I don't know if you're familiar what's happening in China now. Okay, they do a lot of wonderful things, and
and a
how
lot
the
of
China
not
race
so
out.
wonderful
I don't
things.
know if you want to hear about politics, but
This is a political challenge
yeah.
channel.
So-
They're like, why are you clicking on a political channel?
Basically, what I want to say that China might take over the economy in the world, and we shouldn't allow. We should do much better things because China just kind of start developing very fast. But if we're going to bring new ideas, like I told you, if we can solve the problem with the homeless people and problem with the retirees, that's going to put us much forward, okay? Because China is taking care good about the people. They have very healthy people. They have hardworking.
If the China government's putting Chinese people first, shouldn't the American government put American people first?
That's what we need. The government have to take care of the American people more than even the Chinese. And I think that Trump tried to do something about it, but we lost him for a while. At least, I don't know for how long, but maybe he comes back. We will
Trump
support him all the way. I want
2024.
my daughter, Tara, run for the Congress in our district, okay, and with the Republican Party, So hopefully we can support. If not Donald Trump, then his son. We see what's going to come up, but we have to do something for America, no matter what the government is.
Sorry about that, guys.
Democratic or Republican, we can improve our country and don't let Chinese, to take over the world, because we
Make
people
America
from all over
great again.
we came with all kind of ideas, and we should be number one. Okay, make America great again.
Make America great again.
Yep.
Man, did you guys see, like, Biden hasn't done any press conferences, and every time that he's about to answer questions, the feed dies. I guess Dr. Jill Biden's not around to jump in to handle those tough questions for him, huh? Kind of elderly abuse. There we go. I think this might taste less sour now, Dad.
Well, if we're talking about races, we are equal in this
all lives
world
matter.
under one God. God created us, and no matter where you are from, what color you are, what you believe, what religion, we are all brothers. That's why basically I cannot make a channel for all brothers in the world, but the Polish American Brotherhood is the first step to join us, and we need Poland. America need Poland, Poland need America. So that's a first step. And we cannot do everything, but at least if we do little bit for America, that's a good step forward, you know.
We got the Polish American Brotherhood, and I was thinking as a backup channel in case this channel ever gets deleted from the YouTube censorship, the Filipino American Sisterhood.
Mm.
And then we're gonna make another one, Poem Daddy. All right.
Let's see what you made it this time.
No zdrowie.
Did you put any sugar?
A little bit of sugar. Yeah, I added sugar.
Yeah, it tastes better with sugar.
A little bit of sugar. I just tossed the rest of the pack of whatever mulled wine spice that was in there. It has the cardamom, it has anise, cinnamon, added in more cinnamon, and then a little bit of sugar, and tossed in all of those oranges, and then just let that simmer.
Another thing I want to mention you about the health things, you know, I was when I came to America, I didn't know about American food too much. Okay, in Poland you get always fresh. We didn't have a refrigerator. If we didn't eat fresh, the food was thrown away. Okay, so the vitamins and minerals was going to your body in Poland. When I came to America, I considered that was a lot of junk food which I didn't know. You know, I was eating a lot of in McDonald's or those Burger King, Kentucky chicken, not enough fruits, not enough vegetables, and my health went completely down. I start feel sick, you know, very weak. I try to be somebody. I start doing bodybuilding, but I couldn't succeed without proper food. So when I understood that, basically I learned from YouTube, okay, about the health. I start doing juice, all kind of vegetable blending and stuff like that. My health got improved, you know, and uh, I feel much better. So to my friends from you know YouTube, I'm advising the same thing to take care of yourself. You see, the Chinese people, they know how to do the healthy stuff. That's why they very energetic, healthy. Okay, but we can be much better. Okay, if we just taking care of ourselves.
So I want to catch up a couple on your comments that you guys been making. And yes, so Steve Pence and also Julius, I'm going to add you guys as moderators because I definitely do need help with that. Free speech. Absolutely. I do believe in free speech. However, when it comes to, are we talking about free speech when it comes to inside of the chats? See, the issue with inside of the chats is that you can get kicked off and deplatformed off of YouTube, unfortunately, based on the things that are being said. So election ... fraud is something that can't be discussed, unfortunately. And I do believe in being able to discuss that, but in YouTube universe is going to cause people to lose their channels and be deplatformed. And I don't agree with that in the least bit. But unfortunately, with our hands tied, we have to abide by those rules with using the platform of these community standards. So I disagree with what those standards that YouTube is setting, because we can see that they're not being applied evenly, and it's being used to suppress and to censor what we are saying. And when they say, oh, YouTube is a private company, they can do what they want, that's not an infringement on First Amendment, that's not true. So the spirit of the First Amendment is about allowing speech. And with that, it's inclusive of hate speech. But that's when you have to have that discourse. That's when you have to have a discourse, and then it's the truth that rises to the top. Because when you're a truth seeker, you have that open dialogue, and what is said to be hate speech and everything, that's a lot of it is in a sense like perceived, like a perceived offense. And now we're all being conditioned so much to be offended by everything. That's why our PC culture, we're offended by people who then offend us. You know, like you become offended to be offended.
One thing, my idea about the free speech, it is that you have to sometimes control yourself not to use a bad language, okay, which you can say, oh, this is free speech, I can, use a bad language. No, you should control yourself,
Well,
okay?
what my dad is
And,
saying, just because you have the right to say it doesn't mean that it's right to say it. But so I agree with that notion. But the level that it's now being taken to is what we all disagree about, because like they're, in a sense, it's giving the false appearance of the other side winning. And it's not about winning or losing, but we're going to create this kind of echo chamber, and we're erasing the existence of other forms of ideas that are out there. So without the evidence of those other ideas, like all ideas need to be able to exist, and let the winner take it all, whatever the best idea it is. That's going to, the same thing with capitalism, like it rises to the top, and that's what we want.
well, Free Canal, he
mhm.
says Trump is in war with big tech.
Yes.
In my opinion, I wouldn't say that he's in a war with the big tech. It's somehow the big tech went on the side of the other, you know. Well, this is private companies and whatever, for any reason, they went on the other side. But I'm sure from this might come something better, that Trump gonna create own media and stuff like that, So like a Newsmax is on the side of the Trump's, Polish American Brotherhood is on the Trump side.
Tommy Willis, just saw your message.
And, and I had to mention you about Poland when our president was killed in Smolensk, Russia. Well, I'm not going to discuss with you that subject because might be a censor. Okay, but the horror plane went down before landed, and our president was killed. And the opposition took over for 8 years. People learned that something wrong with that opposition. So when they get smart, they voted for a new government, which the law and justice, the new party is a law and justice, took over. And now we got a good president, good party. We're going forward with our plans. We're bringing Americans for safe reason, okay? And it's good for also for Americans when they move here, because if somebody wants to invest in some countries, we have to make sure that the investment is safe. So that's why we're bringing more troops from America. Actually, not from basically from America, because there is 36,000 American soldiers in Germany in two bases, and some of them they're moving to Poland. So it's basically take some American soldiers from Germany and place them in Poland. And Polish people love this. They love Americans here, and they love
Trump.
Mr. Trump. Okay. If Mr. Trump would listen this, he would maybe like the Polish people more. But he was here. Okay.
Yeah, Trump gave a speech around the corner from here.
Just a couple minutes away from here, walking a couple minutes. So the people really love him here in Poland. But some of the opposition, which are it's not that many of them anyway, so we don't have to worry about it. They're making some problems. And tomorrow we're going for the women's manifestation, and they do a little bit political against the government, which we don't like it, and hopefully we can find something worth going on with them.
So my dad and I were supporters of it's called the PIS party, PIS. It's the party of law and justice, and so that's the party of President Duda. And so tomorrow's march is going to be in opposition to the government. And you know me, I attend them also to broadcast and listen to what's going on, because I want to understand what's going on in the world. So I'm a very curious person. And so I want to understand what is the opposition, what are they saying against the current government too, so I can form my own decisions about it. I'm not as attuned to Polish politics as I am to the US, but I'm going to be, I'm spending time here to understand it more and everything. So tomorrow's protest is it's a women's march, but it is going to be in opposition to the current government.
So we see what's going to happen tomorrow, but we try
Trump's
to
our
be
forever president.
very careful, because some people say be careful tomorrow.
Mhm.
Yeah, we will be careful. We're
It's
not
gonna be big. I think
yeah.
it's gonna be big.
We're not
So
gonna show,
it's
but
gonna be
also I'm gonna come with my hat, so they will
Yeah.
know I'm Trump supporter, because I carry my hat everywhere here in Poland,
yeah.
and everybody looking. I love Poland. Okay.
Tomorrow might be
But,
easier a
if
little
you
bit
see it,
because
on the bottom it says Polish American Brotherhood. Okay, so I open.
Steve, I miss security tomorrow.
exposing, my
He's
shirt
the
there,
one
yeah.
wearing that. Yeah, the George Floyd trial starts tomorrow as well. So the 8th is going to be big. I think in the US, what do you guys think? Do you think he's going to be, well, actually we'll save that for another broadcast without going into George Floyd for at this minute, because of course we've got the premiere going on in 3 minutes and can't address that in 3 minutes. But yeah, so freaking out. Women's March is a leftist idea to bring down the government. They manipulate the women's feelings 100%, because
Yeah,
because
we know
so
that,
Poland adopted some of the strictest abortion laws, and so when I started seeing the protests that had erupted starting in October, I was actually very surprised about that, and I was asking my dad, I'm like, because the Polish values are very much about the nuclear family and the value for life. Like, you see billboards all over the place about the promotion of life, a heart around a baby inside of the womb, and you have a lot of, almost like every single block, you have the promotion of life inside of the womb. And so I was very shocked to see such huge protests that were going on. And I asked my dad, I'm like, what is this? And he's like, oh, it's Antifa. And I'm like, I'm not going to jump to conclusions a little bit, but I've been doing a little bit of research to understand, what is the leftist argument there. And so tomorrow will be a good learning experience as well. But I think tomorrow's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Well,
I do have a friend that's going with me. Fortunately, like I posted that I was here in Warsaw, and somebody I met through online on Facebook who also does film and broadcasting, is here in Warsaw, invited me to come and interview in his podcast. So we're gonna do the podcast after the march, and he's gonna go with us to the march as well. And he said complete with Trump flags waving.
and we have a different election system here, because there is a lot of parties here. I don't even know how to count them, because so
and
many.
sorry to cut you off, Dad, though. We are approaching 11 o'clock our time, which is going to be the premiere. So we are going to end this broadcast right now, and we will be on the chat for everybody who wants to watch the footage. It is 2 hours of just uncut footage of what we saw when we were traveling from Zorkov to Warsaw yesterday. All right, guys. I'll see you in the chat there, okay? Bye.